system.
B-Cat tried to take us off the air in the early 2000s. We found a way to make it back in the 2020s. We went from one co-host who didn't know what the hell he was doing. We scratched it, we found a new one, and we made sure that we continued to skyrocket to the masses. So for any individual who thinks for 1 second that they are above this business, that they are above this show, you're wrong. Because last time I checked, for some reason, to most individuals, we're not known. But here's what I have to tell you, to the individuals that think like that. We may not be known, but remember just one little thing. It was us that brought you to the island of relevancy. Because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to season 7, episode 15 of the phenomenon known to mankind on God's green earth as Saturday afternoon's main event. If you do not know who I am, one more time, dumb, stupid, blind, maybe just plain irrelevant, I suggest you go back to school, go into your local library, get the biggest dictionary you can find, preferably Merriam-Webster, and look me up under the word phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the Phenomenal One, and of course, as remembering from last week, Peeps Nate would not be on the air today. I know he is with us in spirit and he is watching perfectly from the comforts of his humble abode. But look, here's the thing. We have a co-host. Of course we're gonna have a co-host. You really thought I was gonna be doing this on my own? Of course not. You know, Peeps left in my hands the gratification of knowing that we might not have Peeps, but we can always have somebody who is cool, calm, and collected, sometimes charming. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all.
Wait. You don't speak for me. No. You don't speak for me. No. Hello, everybody. My name is the Triple C. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday night's main event. You got that right. Not Saturday afternoons. It's Saturday night's main event. World Wrestling Federation champion Hulk Hogan will be defending the title against King Kong Bundy. And don't forget, Andre the Giant will be in his corner. You got that right. This is the belt that Andre or Bundy wants. And don't forget, another method in particular interested. Jake the Snake Roberts against Coco Beware. You got that right. And I'll tell you one thing, Phenomenal One.
Triple C. Triple C. Triple C.
What?
Bro, it's 2024.
What?
What in the blue hell are you doing?
I thought we were talking about Saturday night's main event.
It's Saturday afternoon's main event. It's 2024. You're 30 years late.
I need a drink.
Seems like it, right?
I need a drink. I'm thinking we're talking about 1987. You know, and here you are telling me about freaking 2024. Man,
I digress. First one of the day. Where's Peeps Nate when you need him?
The Peeps Nate. Hey, listen. I'm filling big shoes today for the Peeps Nate. Peeps Nate, have a good time. It's a pleasure being on this show. Thank you, guys.
Definitely, of course. Always a pleasure, Triple C. Toast to you. I know you're having a drink. Have myself a cold one. We're enjoying ourselves today. It's Saturday afternoon's main event, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome. If you are first-time viewers, we appreciate you coming in. We hope that you are feeling great on this Saturday afternoon. And it's great to know that you're spending it here with the Triple C and I here on Sane. But look, here's the thing. Guys, you know folks definitely that if you're here watching on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, you guys will know most definitely that we appreciate it. But if you are not following us yet on Instagram, follow us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons_main event or on Twitter at Saturday Main. But look, of course, we're not going to be here for too long. Let's just try to go ahead and get the show on the road, right, Triple C? I guess so.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, so look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you know most definitely that when we go ahead and get into something, you're going to hear this sound. And yeah, I think I hear it too. Yeah, Triple C, you're on the roll with it. You know what time it is?
What time?
Time for Wrestling Crash Course. There we go. First one of the day. We're going to talk about the Triple C's favorite professional wrestler as of now. Dominic Mysterio screws up again.
Wrong. Once again, Phenomenal One, you are wrong.
How?
Folks, in case if you did not know, I am such a supporter for Dom because I think that Dom Mysterio is the greatest North American heavyweight champion of all time. And just to satisfy everybody, Dom did not screw up. All he did was, hey, listen, at Queen of the Ring, listen, he handed Becky a chair. Becky the idiot, okay? Because if you're on your way out, maybe, we'll talk about that later, take the chair. So you know what, Becky, that's on you. Dom didn't screw up.
Okay, and the steel cage then? How do you explain that?
Well,
how do you explain that one?
So accidentally, obviously,
wow.
Dom Mysterio is right by the cage door. Okay, well, it's not as if Dom hit Becky with the door. Listen, Braun Strowman, that moron, decides to start running around, and obviously hits Dom, and Dom hits the door. So, and listen, that's not Dom's fault. Again, he didn't screw up. It's just obviously things happen.
Things happen. That's a funny way of saying it. You know what? I won't argue with the Triple C today. I'm in such a great mood. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this to the fans. You guys can heckle him in the comments. Go ahead and just say, Triple C, you're wrong. That's how we go ahead and do it here on Save.
The bottom line is this: is that after the show goes off the air, which people didn't see, but because of YouTube and obviously all the social media platforms.
Oh yes.
What happened after that?
Liv Morgan laid it on him. I guess she loves Latino heat. Who knows?
How could you not? That's Dom Mysterio, the greatest North American champion of all time. I agree.
Triple C, you're glazing, man. You're glazing. You're doing too much. Good grief. From there, we move from Monday Night Raw to NXT. And if you watched NXT this past week, you would know that there's two people that are currently on the roster that might be staged for NXT Battleground, but we're just strictly speaking on this past Tuesday. Jordynne Grace from TNA, the TNA Women's Knockouts Champion, and Ethan Page, All Ego, formerly within the confines of All Elite Wrestling, appeared on NXT. Triple C, of course, we know what Jordynne Grace can do. That's a given. We know what Ethan Page is capable of. Potential is there. Sky's the limit. What do you see within these two acquisitions? Of course, Jordynne Grace being temporarily, but Ethan Page most likely being permanent on NXT for the forthcoming, future, maybe about like a year to who knows.
Ethan Page is definitely a great signing for WWE for their third brand, NXT. He will elevate, that brand. I think he's a tremendous asset for NXT. Looking forward to it. Definitely surprised obviously, talk about Grace also. I mean, I love the fact that Shawn Michaels, WWE, they went to great lengths in pulling off the surprise. And to me, it's not often that I'm surprised when I watch wrestling. I've been watching wrestling for over 40 years. Not giving up my age, but you kind of have an idea. That much surprised me, but I will say I was genuinely surprised. I have a friend of mine who we usually text back and forth like during all the shows, and he sent me a text and he goes, "Whoa!" And immediately I was like, "Oh, something big must have happened." Usually I'll watch it, the replay without ever watching it live, and I hate to be spoiled. I don't like to be spoiled. I like watching everything as if it's live. I will say that I was stunned at both of them appearing on Tuesday.
And we're currently hearing that now, it might not be the end of TNA and WWE collabing. Maybe you see a star on TNA from the WWE or NXT, or you might see a star from TNA entering into the WWE universe and going through the Forbidden Door. Triple C, just to ask you, who is your, fantasy pick to see go through the Forbidden Door in terms of TNA and WWE?
Up until about 5 minutes before SmackDown went off the air, I was gonna say, AJ Styles, to go back to TNA. That would make the perfect sense.
My bad. I really done did it too. Yeah, I know I blew gasket too early.
It's okay. But looking at the WWE roster, so you have the women's champion from TNA coming to NXT. Well, I mean, it would be nice to see, let's say, maybe somebody from who knows, maybe New Day. Again, I don't want to say like a major top of the line star, but somebody of a veteran, that has obviously the cachet, in WWE to go to NXT. I'm sorry, to go to TNA. Well, we'll see.
Of course, definitely. I mean, as you said, you said New Day. I mean, it wouldn't be bad seeing Austin Creed, back in TNA just for the one time. Why not?
Right.
Just what's Consequences Creed doing in the Impact Zone?
Exactly.
I'd lose my marbles, but that certainly I agree. I definitely agree. From there, we move to the world of AEW. Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland is coming to Forbidden Door later within this month. Pete, listen, jeez, look,
it's okay.
I'm having Shannon Sharp flashes. Oh right. Gosh,
it's okay.
This is
do I need to have like a tag?
I think you need a tag. I think you need the tag. Oh
it's
gosh,
okay.
I'm so sorry, Triple C.
Peep Snake, you're in spirit.
You're in spirit, man. Listen, he's probably answering these questions as we speak virtually.
Knowing him exactly.
Knowing him exactly. But Triple C.
Yes.
Knowing that we're getting Ospreay versus Swerve this early, which is a surprise because I thought this would have happened at maybe All In August. What are your thoughts within this match? And do you think that this is going to end in some type of draw? Do you think there's actually going to be a winner? Do you actually book somebody to go over within this match now?
I'm surprised. We're actually genuinely surprised that they're actually having this at Forbidden Door. Like you said, I thought they would have it, in England. Knowing that Ospreay, for the AEW World Title, I thought you would have it then. But then again, when you look at that Forbidden Door card, the early stages of that card, that does not look like a great card. So having Swerve Ospreay at Forbidden Door kind of legitimized Forbidden Door, and that's probably your biggest world title match right now. Is Swerve Ospreay. I can see them having some kind of, having a good match, but then it ends in either some kind of like a no DQ or something like that to set the stage, for the pay-per-view in August in Wembley.
Definitely, because I really do think it's gonna go ahead and they're gonna have to go a second time around.
Right.
And that's just me.
Would you take the belt? Would you take the belt off of Swerve in August?
In August? You have Ospreay who currently holds the international title. So what? AEW is gonna have its first double champ. It's one of those things.
Don't even get me started about how many titles AEW has. All right, but that's a conversation maybe for later on. Who knows?
Oh, geez, yeah, but I currently say that I would have to have Swerve probably keep it. So you have a draw here at Forbidden Door. You have Swerve win at All In, and maybe down the line somewhere within Full Gear, All Out maybe, because we know that usually happens the week after, or any of the further pay-per-views that go down the line within the year span. I would say you have Ospreay go ahead and take it then.
All right.
You have that third match. You just have to have that third match.
Well, I believe in sending the crowd home happy. So at All In August, I would have Ospreay defeat Swerve for the title.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, hot take right there. Hot take right there. You can't get mad at it. You can't get mad at it. But speaking of the World Championship, and speaking of All Elite Wrestling, it's only fair that we go ahead and actually announce that MJF, our freaking scumbag, is back. Yes. Mercy. Okay, I'll stop. But,
calm down.
I know. I haven't been this happy since Britt Baker won the women's title, but you know what? I digress.
Listen. I'm not keeping track. Hopefully, Peep Snake keeps track. So we'll, let him keep track of the I digresses. Well, I'll say this.
Watch. He'll come back in later. He'll do that.
Okay. MJF coming back. Not much of a surprise. It's one of those things where I kind of go back and forth with AEW with their pay-per-views, and I understand you paying $49, $59 for a pay-per-view, which there's no chance that I'm paying $50 for a pay-per-view ever again. Thank you, WWE, for your networks, and thanks to all the streams and all of that, but that's another conversation for another time. And yeah, you got that right. But anyway, I'll say this. I go back and forth with having a guy in MJF stature coming on a pay-per-view, but I get it, for the paying customers. Listen, that's a good thing. Me personally, I would have preferred to have MJF appear on Dynamite and having appear that way, because I think more eyeballs are on on Dynamite than the pay-per-view. But listen, having MJF back, cutting the promo that he cut, oh man, awesome. Yeah.
I mean, of course, definitely.
And they definitely needed an MJF.
For sure. But from there, we move to the world of WWE once more, and this is going to be the last topic for Wrestling Crash Course. Many WWE contracts are expiring soon, Triple C. And just to look at the list right now,
okay.
Of course, as of today, Becky Lynch is without contract and not a part of WWE currently. Natalia's contract comes up this month. So does Dijak and Ricochet. So, once more, Triple C, what do you think is the case with this? Of course, they're going to go ahead and resign. In Becky's case, does she resign or go to signing a new contract probably months down the line, enjoy time off? What do you think is going to be going on? What's in your mind?
Well, those four that you just mentioned, Dijak, Ricochet, I can see them leaving and going to AEW, or another promotion. Dijak, it's kind of like the off again, on again. His run from NXT, the main roster run was forgettable. Ricochet, who's had tremendous matches, really throughout his NXT and main roster run. No titles to speak of. Really, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Didn't he win the tag title with Braun?
Tag titles, U.S. title.
Well, he did win the U.S. title. That's
right. I think he's currently Speed Champion. For those who don't know, like that social media. Yeah, I know.
Listen, how many people? How many people watch Speed? I mean, come on. I mean, it's funny. Even when you watch Raw and SmackDown, I mean, it is rarely even brought up. You'll hear Michael Cole say something, real quick about Speed, but it's rarely brought up. I mean, who watches Speed? As far as Natalia's case, I know she's been the longest tenured female, in WWE. I should say wrestler. I would think maybe she would resign, or maybe maybe there's something other possibilities out there that maybe she just want to venture out. as far as Becky goes, obviously that's the main person on as far as the four people you just named. I think Becky probably just needs some time off, and I think for her career at this point right now, I think it'd be a good thing just for her to take some time away, and then you can rejuvenate and have her. And when she comes back, and she comes back strong, and and she can deliver like she did, during the time at her peak when she was the man.
Yeah.
But as far as right now goes, you can see even her being champion when she won the title at the on Raw with the Battle Royal. Even that, the crowd wasn't 100% hot for her like they have been. I think she's cooled off a little bit. So I think maybe some time away will do her justice. And listen, and her husband Seth Rollins, who we haven't seen, I'm sure is nursing some injuries. I cannot see them both going anywhere.
Definitely so. WWE lifers, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
I can agree. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that marks the end of Saturday afternoon's main event. If you guys want to go ahead and keep up with all of the social media news and updates, all you have to do is follow us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons_main event or on Twitter at Saturday Main. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our first real topic for today, and that is going to be the review from last week's pay-per-views and premium live events, King and Queen of the Ring, and of course AEW Double or Nothing. So, look, Triple C, honestly, we're going to go ahead and, start with King and Queen of the Ring. What were your thoughts on the show? What was the show-stealing match for you? And how, where would you rank this within this year's pay-per-view or premium live events?
I would say, first of all, a very solid show. Before, during the Vince McMahon era, okay, those Saudi shows used to feel like glorified house shows with fireworks.
Yes.
But in this particular case, this was probably, I feel, their best show to date in Saudi. Overall, I thought every match delivered. And the one thing as far as for me goes, under the Triple H era, even dating back to his NXT time when he was the creative force behind that. The one thing I love about the premium live events is that I don't need 10 to 12 matches, right? Give me 5-6 matches, give them their due time, and let them tell the story that they need to tell. So last week I thought this was their best showing. As far as the best match of the night, I felt I know a lot of people might say Cody Logan, but I felt like the best match of the night to me was Randy Orton Gunther, or as you guys like to say, Walter.
Well, that's more Peeps' thing. Peeps can't get over the fact that they named him Gunther, so he has to stick to the nostalgia act. I don't blame him. He's 400 years old, But I digress. Yeah, of course, you have to digress on that one. But I can agree with that. What were your thoughts on Valkyria versus Nia Jax?
Well, actually, you know what? That was a really good match. It was kind of like you have Valkyria doing all these kinds of moves to try to get to Nia, but at the end, Nia, basically annihilates Valkyria. She did show heart, but to me, Nia winning the Queen of the Ring, I felt was justified because let's be real, she was doing great work before WrestleMania, and she did not, get a WrestleMania spot. So I felt that this right here, her, winning the Queen of the Ring, and having that moment with Triple H, I thought was great for her. And to me, I thought it was like a full circle moment. I felt it has justified for all the stuff that Nia's been through. That she's unworkable, and she's dangerous in the ring and all of that. And she has been doing great work. Over the past actually since she's returned.
I can agree with that. And it's great to know that the King and Queen of the Ring actually matters this time around, due to the fact that, of course, Triple H has said that the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring will get a respectable title match of from their brand at SummerSlam. So it's kind of like you sit there and you're noticing that, okay, Gunther's gonna be facing world champion by SummerSlam, and of course Nia Jax is gonna be facing most likely Bayley. which is going to be great because I can't see a heel versus a heel at SummerSlam.
No.
That never can happen. But do you feel that both of them go over in their respective matches and become champion for them?
I think Nia can go over because nothing against Bayley, but right now she's kind of like a little in the middle right now. It's like, yeah, she's a baby face right now, but she has not fully connected as a baby face the way she did, during her NXT, the huggable Bayley. Yeah. She has not really, I feel, connected. So I think if you can take the title off of Bayley, I think that'd be a good thing. I think Nia going over would be the right move.
I can see that.
And as far as Gunther, I'm a little torn by that. Honestly, I really am. I think Gunther, if he wins the title, if he beats, I guess it depends because of Drew taking on holy smokes, Damian Priest. Sorry, brain freeze just now.
It happens.
Brain freeze just now. I think Gunther, if he wins the title, he's not losing that title no time soon. I can't see them. I can't see Gunther losing. If he beats Damian Priest, because to me that is the most credible champion that there is. If it's Damian Priest, or I guess if you could say Drew McIntyre, because obviously Drew will be taking on Priest at the Castle.
Yeah. Jeez, I mean, you kind of got a point there. For me, I sit there and I look at it, I'm like, I think I can see, both of them actually going over in a sense, if it comes down to it. Because if, I'm thinking, Drew loses at Clash of the Castle to, Damian by interference of CM Punk.
Okay.
And I think that we get a Hell in a Cell match at SummerSlam between the two.
Punk and McIntyre?
Punk and McIntyre. I really do think so.
Don't you think that's kind of strange to have them have their first match in a Hell in a Cell to start off their actual physical feud?
To start off the actual physical feud, but still to kind of go ahead and put it into perspective. This has been a story that's been brewing since January.
Very true. Yeah.
So we're literally 4 months into this story, and it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing now? Like, actually 5 now. So it's like you sit there, you're kind of like, okay, are we gonna go ahead and like, get these two in like just a regular normal match? I can't see it happening in a regular normal match. These two want each other, and they want each other bad. No Diddy.
Right.
So you gotta put them in a match where it is anything goes, none of them can escape, and let them beat the holy hell out of each other. So I think a Hell in a Cell match can settle it in the right manner. And of course, it's the biggest party of the summer. You're gonna go ahead and have to put on a banger. So I mean, Punk, McIntyre, Hell in a Cell, I think that's where they go. And Gunther goes ahead and wins the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see Gunther winning that title, but I'm looking at Gunther not just a 1 year reign. He can go 2 years, because he is. We talk about Roman Reigns, but Gunther's credibility, is just off the charts. It really is. Gunther to me is right now a man's man. He is to me the best in WWE has to offer right now.
That's X. Hey, listen, international world wrestler, British strong style. He has it all.
Yeah.
The mic work as well. Listen, Gunther's doing his job, and he's doing it well. But from there, that marks the end of King and Queen of the Ring. Now we move into the world of AEW. Double or
speaking of AEW. Speaking of AEW, this has nothing to do with wrestling. Sorry, Phenomenal One. Actually, I have something to talk about. It won't take long. Phenomenal. It won't take long. Okay. Sorry, it's not a shoot, but it's just coming from the heart. Last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, the franchise, Mr. AEW, who's been on this show, numerous of times, but by the way, who I call Mr. AEW, who has done actually a great job because, he gives a lot of different platforms and when he talks about AEW, obviously he loves AEW. That's his, his promotion that he loves, The one thing that I have to say about the franchise, in this business, I feel like, hey, you know what? This business is built on respect. Wrestling, I'm talking about. it's built on respect. And one thing, when you, Phenomenal One, Peeps Nate, Mr. 411, these guys, when you guys do the show, you do it for the fans. You do it, to entertain people, and you do it, for the love of what we watch as professional wrestling. That's one thing. But the other aspect is that I don't like hypocrites, and what I'm getting at, franchise, is that you come on the show, and you provide entertainment, you provide your info and things like that, and you help out Phenomenal One, Peeps Nation, things like that, and you do the show, and fine, whatever the case may be, that's great. But one thing is that you went on a different show a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and Phenomenal One, I'm sorry, I'm about to play this footage because it really burned me. Okay, let me play the footage.
I'm gonna, since you're like our honorary guest there, and let you run the podcast, bud. So go ahead and get going.
Oh my God! All right, so I haven't done this in a little while. I mean, I've guested on a podcast here and there, been hanging out with the guys from Saturday Afternoon Wrestling or whatever it's called. I screwed up a name already, so who knows? Who cares?
Is that Mr. Staten Island? Is that who we're talking about?
Well, I think he's been on it, but not anymore. But it's a Saturday Afternoon Wrestling, I think it's called. The Saturday Afternoon Main Event, I believe it's called.
That's right. That's what it's called. Yep.
Yeah, I play around in that sandbox occasionally. But it's good to be back doing a podcast, having a little fun, making a little.
Now, the sandbox. It's one thing if you go on a different show and you want to, bash the guys that you want to come on this show and you want to have a show with and all of that. That's one thing. I'm going to say this one thing. Some of you know and others don't. Listen, that dude right there that you see on the other side of me, right? That's actually my nephew. That's blood. That's actually blood. Okay? That dude right there is my blood. You know one thing I can't stand? I can't stand people being phony, people being fake. That's my nephew right there. Okay? We bleed the same damn thing. At the end of the day, Corey, okay, you come on this show and you want to say, you guys do a great job, and all that. It's one thing if you went behind the scenes and listen, guys, hey, I'm going to just, talk a little smack to you, about y'all and all of that. And you know what? Listen, it's all fun and games. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know. Listen, behind the scenes, you can say all of that. It's all good. No problem. But at the end of the day, Phenomenal One, Peeps Nate, Mr. 411, myself, I have done this show, okay? Prior to this guy right there doing this show, when he brought back this show, I used to do this show. And it's insulting to me, okay? It's insulting to me that, you went on a different show and you decide to take shots, calling it a sandbox, couldn't even name the name of the show, but then yet, during the week, you text my nephew to say to him, hey, you know what? You guys need a host? You guys need a show? Whatever, I can come on and help. What is that? What the hell is that? You're a piece of shit. I digress.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children.
Phenomenal One, can we just go on break real quick and we'll
take
come
5?
right back?
No, yeah, no, we can
All right.
take 5.
Yeah,
ladies
we'll
and
come
gentlemen,
back.
boys and girls, children of all ages. Yeah, this marks the end of the second half of Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. When we come back, we'll just get into the questions in the last part of the show. Catch you in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the second half of Same. I, the Phenomenal One, of course, here. Right beside me is the Triple C. We're here to give you laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. Listen, we're about to go ahead and get into our questions today. We have about a few. Listen, if you want to go ahead and send in a question, guys, you guys usually know if you're live, you can go ahead and just directly plug it in at the bottom. If you guys want to go ahead and just easily send in one before the show, you guys can go ahead and do one thing and one thing only. DM us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons_main event. Send in a question, and in the words of the wrestling god, WWE Hall of Famer JBL, I guarantee it will be featured on the next episode of the show. So with that being said, first order of business comes from Master Sean 007. He says, greetings, gentlemen. This is a multi-part question concerning the relationship between WWE and TNA. 1, is the WWE helping out TNA financially the way they did for ECW? 2, will TNA be bought by the WWE so that they will be another brand? 3, or is the WWE only interested in TNA's video library? This, I believe, was a rumor from years ago, but TNA refused to sell it. Triple C, would you like to go ahead and take this question at first?
First of all, I just want to apologize to the fans of Same. I just had to let that one out because that one really hit home. Now, I have nothing to say regarding anything else after that. As far as this question go, great question, Master Sean 007. I don't think that financially it's a financial situation. I think the WWE is helping out TNA because obviously WWE, there's more eyeballs on there, so having their champion come to WWE helps them. And if anything, you have some fans that may go to TNA. Right now, I don't see no cross promotion because I've yet to hear anything about WWE saying anything outside of Jordan Grace is the TNA champion who came saying to have a match with Roxanne Perez. Now, as far as that goes, financially, I don't see that. I mean, I know that happened, like, as he's alluding to, I'm sorry, with ECW, in the late 90s, we did help them a little bit, but I do not see that being the case. I can see, again, like we started earlier today, a WWE wrestler, going to WWE, having maybe a couple of series of matches or something like that. And then, again, more eyeballs for TNA. That's the way I feel like they would help them. But I enjoy the fact that they actually have a professional working relationship with each other. Don't see them being bought by WWE. Didn't TNA, just have a company just take over for them? I forget the name of the company, but I know Anthem, right? Anthem took over, so I really can't see that happening. Obviously, TNA's library is a very, very good library. From the 8-sided ring, from the 90s, so that's a very good library. So I don't see that happening either. And we'll see what happens after that.
Got you. Next question comes from Tombstone City. Adam, great question, Master Sean 007. It says, it's been almost 12 years since Roman and Seth made their main roster debuts alongside Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley to form the Shield. Fast forward to today, their absence can be felt. Of course, we know they will eventually make a return, but I think it's time we have this conversation. Which one out of the two has had the greater career?
You can take that one, Phenomenal One.
I'll take that one. Okay. Answering the question when it comes to Seth and Roman, I'll go ahead and kind of put statistically what are their accomplishments have been. Seth, 2-time Grand Slam champion, Royal Rumble winner in the year 2019, has literally done almost everything in his business. Inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, has participated in so many matches, and of course he has made the World Heavyweight title seem relevant to a lot of people. Of course, where Roman has went ahead and said, that's just a nobody could beat me title. That's second rate title. Of course, it's the reliability factor of, oh, Cody, I want you to face me, but Cody doesn't even consider it, the Hollywood title. He considers it, just the other workhorse title that, is just second rate to what he's really trying to accomplish. Of course, deemed from the story that they had, up on the build up to WrestleMania 40. But truth be told, Seth has literally wrestled with that title for 200 something days, and he wrestled with injury for most of those matches, up until the point that he was literally about to have a match with CM Punk at WrestleMania. That ends up not happening because, of course, Punk goes ahead and messes up his tricep. But prior to that, we know that Seth Rollins had torn his meniscus in a match against Jinder Mahal. Fast forward for the next couple of months, he continued to wrestle on the meniscus. all the way up until WrestleMania 40, where he ends up losing the match to Drew McIntyre. And even throughout the night, he still found a way to go ahead and help Cody finish the story on a broken freaking leg. If anything, I'm going to keep it a $150 with you when it comes to that. That is top tier, probably a magnificent performer. Everything that you want in this business, Seth Rollins has. He can give you a 5-star match, and he's a workhorse on top of that, and he's a face that you can plaster onto the company, and you can sit there and say, listen, he can be the face. Now, when it comes to Roman Reigns, let me just say this. I looked at this stat on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I was just so shocked to actually begin to think back and say, wow. Because out of the 17 matches that an Anoa'i family member has main evented at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns has main evented 9 of them. 9 of them. And the other matches, the other 8 are divided amongst The Rock and Yokozuna. That should tell you enough about the main event stature and the compromise and the person that is Roman Reigns. Now, once more, if we look at his accomplishments, if we're sitting there saying, okay, you know what? Multi-time Universal Champion. Multi-time World Heavyweight, WWE World Champion. What more? United States Champion, Intercontinental Championship, tag titles. So what? Grand Slam champion at that as well. Royal Rumble winner in 2015. When you look at the stats, they're kind of both neck and neck. But then you have to sit there and kind of look at the last 3 years and say, you know what? You can't really compare it. I'm gonna have to say, better career-wise, Roman Reigns. Just sheerly off the last 3 years.
You know, you took me on a little journey there because I was actually beginning to get concerned. Like, is he really going to say Seth has had the greater career? Listen, this business is about 2 things: making money and making money. At the end of the day, Seth Rollins, as great of a performer as he is, 100%, I completely agree. One of the top 5 current wrestlers in today's world. But Roman Reigns, like you said, the last 3 years, right? You put him on the Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, almost like, I don't want to say almost like an Andre the Giant type, career, but it's like, he goes away, you see him, he comes back. In his 3 years, how many title defenses he's had? 40, if that. If that,
around,
But guess what? For those past 3 years, how much money did WWE make in the 3 years? And that's counting the pandemic year also, right? How much money did they make under the Roman Reigns 3-year reign? People could say they were sick and tired of it, but you know what? The merch was, I'm sure, saying something completely different.
So
hey, listen, you know what? And by the way, let's not make it seem like Roman Reigns is like washed up. The guy, leukemia. Okay, and he's fighting with and granted remission and all that, but at the end of the day, this guy, the amount of stuff that he has to do to get ready, right? And that's what sometimes people do forget, that this man is coming off life career threatening. I'm saying where his career could have been over, his life could have been over. Yeah. Thank God that it's not. But you have to say Roman Reigns' career, at least between those 3 Shield members, definitely he's had the better career.
Yeah. Rocket has been strapped to him since 2015, but truth be told, it wasn't. If we were having this conversation probably within 2019, we probably both would have been saying Seth. But right now, the last 3 years have literally changed the dynamic of what we think about Roman Reigns. So
100%.
I honestly have to say it's going to have to be Roman on that.
Yes.
So great question, Tombstone City Adam. Literally took us on a journey there. Last one goes to Long Island Isaiah. He says, can you see Ilya Dragunov turning heel and joining Imperium?
Long term, as under the Triple H era, I love the long term storytelling. So I can see you can save Ilya and Gunther for down the road, maybe WrestleMania, maybe next year's WrestleMania or maybe the year after. So if you have Ilya join Dragunov, because obviously that's a collision course to me. So, and obviously, the Imperium, they are missing a member. So they need them. I feel they need another member. So I can see that. Could you?
I mean, I definitely can go ahead and see it. It was funny because when you were speaking about like, listen, Gunther's like a man's man and he can hold the title for literally a year, 2 years at most. I see the evolution build. I see having Dragunov come in and like, let him be like the workhorse out the group and put on the banger matches and, have a crazy good win-loss record. But I think where we begin to see the strides change is kind of put Gunther, as he is holding the world championship, put him on a little Triple H reign of terror. Have him go ahead and start winning through interferences. Have him go ahead and kind of like, slack down, lose like a bit off his game. No longer the Gunther of age.
Okay, all right. So you want to what more like a chicken heel?
I wouldn't say. I mean,
it doesn't work with Gunther.
I want an Iron Sheik type of heel, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, still comedic
Russia
in the sense.
#1, Iran #1, USA hot pot poof.
Exactly.
Cheers, Iron Sheik.
Exactly. So you get it. But I would say that, and then put Dragunov on that. You know what? I'm beginning to see the dissension because you're not that good of a champion. And you know what? I'm going to try to scratch your claw to find my way to go ahead and get to winning that title. Now, if it's like a 2-year build, because I can't imagine Gunther only holding the title for less than a year. If this is like a 2-year build, then I'm already penciling in that 2026's Royal Rumble winner is Ilya Dragunov. That's easily said and done. If this is like a 2-year build. Yeah, so that will be the year after. But I can honestly see right now, I see Ilya going ahead and joining Imperium. I definitely can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I right now I don't see it, but I can see down the road this, this faction joining together.
Of course, definitely. It's funny. We have a comment from Gabriel Garcia. He says, "Can you guys chime in on Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt 6 debut? I'm sick of waiting." That's funny because Triple C and I had a conversation about this, that stretched, I think, 45 minutes last night through text?
Right.
Look, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys this. Watch Raw June 17th. Just know that the same thing that I was doing during the White Rabbit stuff, I uncovered it, I found it out, I got it under control. June 17th, Monday Night Raw. And just be sure to watch anything Jey Uso related during those 3 hours. Trust me, you'll be in for a surprise. Now,
Fireflies,
Yeeter Worlds, whatever. Yeah. Just be sure to watch, guys. Just be sure to watch. With that being said, that marks the end of the questions here on Same. Of course, as I say, we love the questions. We enjoy them. You want to keep sending them in? DM them on Instagram, Saturday afternoons _main event. It will be featured on the next episode of the show. With that being said, we move to our last topic for today, and it is titled, Who's We? Now, if you watched Friday Night SmackDown last night, you would know that Paul Heyman had a conversation with Solo Sikoa that stretched where it began kind of around Paul Heyman saying, Solo, are you forgetting that the mission that Roman has given to us with the Bloodline is that by the time he comes back, we can have Cody Rhodes in check? Right. And then Solo goes and looks at Paul and he says, Paul, we already have Cody in check and he doesn't even know it. Paul then stretches to go ahead and kind of bring out the, just out of respect, who's we? And the way that he said it gave me the New Yorker vibe of, who the are you talking about we?
Right.
That's what it kind of felt like.
Right.
But of course, you have to keep it PG on national television.
Of course.
So we had to take that stride. But now here's the question, Triple C. To go ahead and have about 10 minutes left for the show. Who is this we that Solo Sikoa refers to?
Well, I'll say this. Clearly, for the past, since Roman Reigns been out, the week after WrestleMania, obviously we have a de facto leader in Solo, and obviously, over the past month, he's been saying, hey, he has spoken to Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman hasn't.
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it is that, and you can hear the fans, chanting, "We want Roman," and there's no reason to bring Roman back right now. So the we I'm thinking is only one person and one person only, the final boss, The Rock. There is listen, that will begin to set the stage for now the babyface turn of Roman Reigns, and to me, it's the final boss. It's The Rock. They're doing all The Rock's doings, and I think that's who the we they're referring to. From now on.
So look, here's the thing. Here's what I'm like trying to go ahead and question now. If Rock is really that we, does this mean that by late July, SummerSlam, we're gonna be getting, The Rock and Cody Rhodes up against each other, and then Roman coming back then to cause interference to stop The Rock from winning the title? Are we going to have that and then start the ascension towards them main eventing WrestleMania by next year, if that is in the plans? Or do we wait it out a little more into Survivor Series? What are we doing here?
Again, as I've stated, right here today on this show and in the past also, I just love the long-term storytelling. People always want quick fixes. Everybody wants everything to happen, from one pay-per-view to the next in a 3-week span, and you want everything to just culminate. Think about how long this bloodline story has gone on. It started out with just Reigns and Paul Heyman, then with the Usos, having Sammy, and then having Sammy, betray Roman, and how long all of that took. And then now it's a new version of the bloodline, although the characters, I should say the people are still there, but it's a different variation because now you've included The Rock, and obviously now you have the two other members. So to me, I'm looking at long term. So would I do Rock Cody at SummerSlam? Probably. I'd probably do it because I feel nothing against Cody Rhodes. The bigger match at WrestleMania is Rock Roman Reigns.
Exactly.
And now it to me sets it up even much more to have now Rock as the heel against a babyface Roman Reigns. I think that long term, I think that's where we're going to head. But in the immediate future, I can see The Rock and Roman Reigns having that face off where Roman Reigns cost The Rock the title match. But then would you just do Rock Roman Reigns one-on-one with no title?
Yeah, definitely. I think you build this perfectly in the sense where you have Roman go ahead and cost The Rock at SummerSlam. Fast forward to the next major pay-per-view, which would be Survivor Series. You have Bloodline Civil War once more in War Games within The Rock's version of the Bloodline against Roman's, old version of the Bloodline. Usos. Of course, maybe you can include Sami Zayn for God's sakes just for the fun of it. Like the little many things, those who want to go ahead and help Roman can go ahead and help Roman. But I don't think Rock wrestles at War Games. I think he lets Solo, he lets Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga handle it, and that's if they still don't add in Jacob Fatu, which is still like that dark horse which we haven't heard anything about yet for the last how many months. So within that stance, I think most definitely we can go ahead and edge that out towards Survivor Series, and then of course Royal Rumble. You have maybe just the Usos up against Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga. But truth be told, I think they can go ahead and just easily spill off right after Survivor Series and probably on the next SmackDown just be like, oh, you know what? Let's settle this. And let's settle this at the biggest show ever. Because this is what I've been talking to you about for the past how many years since we were little kids. Kind of like a little callback to Young Rock on NBC. Right. Just be like, yeah, this is what I've been saying. I've been wanting you to acknowledge me. And it seems like you've acknowledged me, but just as you're, the second to you. that's not gonna happen. And I need to show you who the hell I am. So guess what? You versus me, WrestleMania. And easily you build a match from there. And for the next couple of months, it's just back and forth ascension. You know?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, listen, that's not bad either. You know, but again, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. This is a marathon. Enjoy the ride.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of the topic here today, but also that marks the end of today's episode of Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. Killed it in less than an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you guys enjoyed the show. We hope you guys will go ahead and tune in next week for episode 16, where of course the Peeps Nate will be back on. I know he'll probably have the I Digress counter for us, and probably add in his 2 cents as well on the I Digress counter. But truth be told, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I enjoyed it. I know the Triple C enjoyed it. Whatever the case may be, guys, once more from everything else, aside from the business aspect, aside from the personal inferences that happen in the world of entertainment and professional wrestling, whatever you want to call it, guys, we're here to just go ahead and have fun. And I know for a fact that within this hour, we definitely delivered that to you. Had we not, you guys can go ahead and, be the judges of that. But truth be told, I really do think for a fact we delivered. And guys, I can't wait for next week when we go ahead and do it again. Because as I said, this is Saturday Afternoon's Main Event, where we deliver laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. Triple C.
Hey, listen, first of all, you and Peeps Nate have done a tremendous job. I love the intro, by the way. That was a pretty cool intro.
Appreciate it.
Listen, you and Peeps Nate have been doing a great job doing this for a couple of years. And listen, keep doing what you guys, what you're doing. I mean, the show is growing. The fans, come to enjoy and watch and have, like you said, have, good laughs and good times. And that's what it's all about. And listen, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Awesome show. I had a great time with you guys, with you, Phenomenal One, people that are, tuning in. Listen, good job. Keep doing what you do.
Of course, definitely. But look, in the world of same, we usually say we came, we saw, we conquered. But you know what? We're turning the dial back to 1997. I believe that's the right year. What is it? We came. We did. We showed up.
We showed up. We broadcast. In the words of people. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Cheers to you, Triple C. Cheers to the people at home watching. Cheers. This has been season 7, episode 15 of Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. Peace. Love. Farewell.